Afternoon, everybody. I thought I'd check in today. It is much colder today than what it was yesterday, so we're inside today because it's kind of a dreary quarantine day. As I'm looking outside, it looks like it's going to be raining. I wanted to wrap up the book I've been reading, and Kevin and the Three-Headed Alien, and I still need to learn how to do this so that it flips, but so these, as you're looking at it, is backwards. But I thought we'd wrap it up with chapters 22 through 26 today. Kevin and his friends have made the movie, so they're about to show it to their friends and family. And so let's just kind of check in. So chapter 22, the premiere. And so there's a nice little illustration of everybody watching the movie. They get ready to watch the movie. Chapter 22, the premiere. Kevin, Jared, TJ, Sam, and Sarah all sat down together. Mr. and Mrs. Kirshner, Mrs. Williams, and Mr. Ford sat in the back to allow them the best view. Kevin let his little brother, Michael, sit on his lap. Pointing the remote control at the screen, Kevin pressed play. The room got quiet. The music blared, little sirens announcing a tornado, and the title popped up across the screen, Attack of the Three-Headed Alien. The audience roared. A spaceship appeared on the screen and floated above the Kirshner's backyard. Then Kevin appeared on the screen and bright lights shined on his face. I did the lights, Jared exclaimed. Yes, we know, sighed Sarah. Little Michael, shh, everyone. There was flashing and sound effects, and everyone leaned forward. There, coming around the tree, was the alien. Mrs. Williams gasped. TJ, it does look great. The audience grew quiet as they watched the alien chase Kevin around the backyard. His sucker-tipped fingers looked freaky. Hey, 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 here comes my part, said Sarah, bouncing. Shh, Michael pleaded. Sarah mouthed her line. But, General, how can we stop the alien? Before he could answer, she screamed, ah! And held her hands to her face. Sarah, that was quite the scream, Kevin's mom offered. Thank you, Miss Kirshner. The next few minutes, the audience was quiet as the cast ran back and forth across the screen, and special effects showed laser blasts and the sounds of an alien attack. Sam's face appeared in close-up. Send in the bombers, he growled. Everyone cheered, and Mr. Ford's mouth dropped. That was great, Sam. At last, TJ appeared as the alien one last time. He looked into the camera and waved. Flashing beams of light and a humming moved him off screen. Then in big, bold letters, the two most famous words in Hollywood fell on the screen. The end. Chapter 23. We could sell tickets. Jared wanted to know if he could put this on the internet, Kevin asked. Well, it is enjoyable, his mom said, but I don't know if your parents would want to put your face all over the internet. The crew deflated. And how would you feel if someone made fun of the video? Someone you didn't know, added Mrs. Williams. That's a good point, conceded Jared. What do you think, Mr. Ford? Mrs. Kirshner asked. I think they may be a little young to be subjected to strangers making comments about their work, Mr. Ford replied. Well, what if it wasn't strangers? Asked Sarah. What do you mean? TJ said. What about our own film in someone's backyard? We get a bed sheet and borrow my dad's projector and we show the movie there, explained Sarah. Pages are stuck together. We could sell tickets, Jared declared, his eyes glazing over the thought of people paying to see their work. Yeah, we can make it into a neighborhood or school activity, said Kevin's mom. Everyone loved the idea. Other groups could make a movie as well, Mr. Ford offered. We could have a judging panel. Sarah perked up at that idea, and we could hand out awards, she added. Jared's smile got bigger. Yes! And then we could sell even more tickets. Chapter 24, End of the Day. It's time to go home, said Mr. Ford. Thank you for having us over, said Sarah. Yes. Yeah, thanks, added Sam. Thanks again for letting them come over, Mr. Ford said as he walked out the door. Let me know if you need help with their next idea. Thank you. Yes, thank you again for letting TJ come over. I'll talk with you later, said Mrs. Williams, leading TJ toward the car. Later, people, TJ said, raising his hand and giving Kevin and Jared high fives as he exited. Jared and Kevin were the only ones left. Jared, Kevin and I can walk you over to your house since it's getting dark, said Mrs. Kirshner. Jared grabbed his backpack and they walked a couple of houses down the street where they stood outside. Today was Awesome. Jared said, thank you again for letting us do this. You wrote a great screenplay. Thanks. It was great of you to like my stories. Kevin said, thank you. Thanks for making me do this. Anytime, Jared said. They high-fived, and Jared walked into his house. Kevin and his mom walked back home with her arm around his shoulders. Chapter 25, and the award goes to... Well, that was a big success, Kevin's dad said when they returned home. Michael and I watched it again as you guys walked Jared home. And the award for Best Screenplay goes to Kevin for Attack of the Three-Headed Alien, and the crowd goes wild. His dad handed him a Little League trophy as he threw his arms in the air. Dad, Kevin said, rolling his eyes and smiling. Kevin held up the trophy. I'd like to thank everyone I'd ever met. Then he sat down on the sofa. He was exhausted. Making movies is hard work, he thought. Go to bed, Kevin, his mom said. We'll clean up around here. He stood up and slowly walked up the stairs. He was tired, but his new ideas were already rushing through his head. Collapsing onto his bed, Kevin reached over to his bedside table and grabbed his notebook and pencil. Chapter 26. Avenging the White Whale. A loud crash made Greybeard duck. The mainsail began to collapse. His men were running all over the deck to avoid being hit by the falling mast. Ahoy! Men, join me in the boats. We shall take that ship on our own. The pirates began to follow Greybeard into the boats as explosions rocked the surface of the ocean and bullets whizzed by them. Follow me, men. We shall avenge the white whale. Kevin's pencil fell down on the journal, and he slept soundly, dreaming about pirates. The end. Well, thank you guys for joining me on these afternoons on these read-alouds, whether or not you joined me live as they were happening or as you caught them up later as I posted them and saved them. Check in tomorrow. I'm going to try and have a lesson for parents who are stuck at home with their kids now. Maybe give some writing prompts or a writing lesson, writing ideas. Again, I'll update the description here so that you have a place to be able to get the book. The book is available in paperback and on Kindle. If you wouldn't mind either liking or sharing this video, that would be great, or even liking or sharing the page in which this video appears on, that would be great and very helpful. Anyway, hang in there, everybody, and have a wonderful afternoon. Chat with everybody tomorrow. Bye-bye.